Let me tell you about my day so far. Coffee in Paris, surfed the Maldives, took a little nap on Mount Kilimanjaro. Oh yeah, and I got digits from this Polish chick in Rio. And then I jumped back for the final quarter of the NBA Finals. Courtside, of course. And all that was before lunch. I could go on, but all I'm saying is, I'm standing on top of the world.
What I loved about Steven Gould's novels, how contemporary and fresh an approach it was to the superhero genre. I never thought about making a superhero film until someone sent me Jumper.
It started as a series of young adult novels written by Steven Gould, and there's a book called Jumper and the sequel, which is called Reflex.
Jumper, the book, is about teleportation as a metaphor for escape, running away from your problems, and in fact, coming to the point where you have to realize that the thing you can't run away from is yourself.
Jumper is to the superhero genre what Bourne is to the action genre, and that it's just a sort of reinventing of it.
What we haven't really had yet is a movie about a superpower, a supernatural, a science fiction universe that is grounded and real and emotional and honest and human.
I was absolutely working through my own issues when writing that book. Davy's father is an active alcoholic, abusive alcoholic. And my father, thank goodness, is a recovered alcoholic. And there's definitely both a sense of autobiography, but also a real sense of working on my own issues as I was writing that book.
David! David! Open the door!
I loved the ability to use a superpower to explore really personal issues.
Right. Teleport to the library.
I never really thought of a movie when I was writing Jumper. At that point, I was just trying to get a book published.
The script that I read from David Goyer was so fresh and obviously got me immediately interested in the movie. But when you take a book and turn it into a movie, I'm really someone who believes in throwing the whole thing out and reinventing it as a movie. And in this particular case, there was a villain in David Goyer's script. It dealt with terrorism, and it got a little bit conventional for my taste.
When Doug came aboard, we decided to throttle it back a little bit and spread the story out, go slower in effect.
Well, we really used the original novel by Steven Gould as a springboard for the movie. And then we really leapt off from there. Doug Liman, Lucas Foster, and I spent months and months and months in Doug's apartment in New York before I ever put any words to the page.
We felt it was important to develop a kind of a alternate history, if you will, of the world, where jumpers have existed for thousands of years and had an impact on human endeavors.
One of the biggest creations we constructed for the movie that wasn't really in the books was the idea of these hunters, the paladins, having hunted jumpers for thousands of years. And they've been around policing the universe to some extent, so that people with this kind of power couldn't abuse that power.
We've kind of built a Bible for the movie that goes way beyond what you'll see on screen. I mean, we figured out backstories and research and mythology that goes forward and backward in time, you know, several thousand years.
That ultimately is the war that's in Jumper.
Doug and Lucas Foster and Simon Kinberg have a very collaborative process before we even get to filming anything. And so while they're going through all of their, backstory and setting up the characters, they're including us in that process and seeking our input as well. They want, an actor to feel comfortable in his character. And so in order to do that, you have to be creating that character together.
The ideas got so large that they really couldn't fit into, one or two movies. They needed to evolve over at least 3 movies. So we planned the story out over 3 movies, and then we sliced it up in such a way as to leave room for the other 2 movies.
There are, a lot of really neat things that Simon and I sort of plucked out and said, that could go in movie 2 and that could go in movie 3. And I'm not somebody who really thinks about sequels. I'm just trying to tell good stories. But I wanted to at least be cognizant that if a film becomes successful, the studio will want to churn out sequels. So we actually spent a fair amount of time plotting out 3 movies.
We quickly kind of went off-piste of the books, and started to really expand the story in amazing ways.
I was aware quite early on that they were diverging fairly heavily from my book, but I don't have a problem with that at all for several reasons. First of all, books are not movies. My book is a first-person, very interior novel, and that makes for a boring film if you literally shoot exactly that kind of thing. Secondly, hundreds of very creative people and, millions of dollars are being used to create a project that had the genesis in my original work. And that is just incredibly cool.
Steven Gould is a very flexible and creative guy, and he's been working to generate a prequel book that'll come out just before the films come out.
Griffin actually isn't in the book. He doesn't appear in the book, so this is a totally brand new idea that they came up with for the film.
Griffin is both the sidekick and the mentor to David's character. We needed somebody who was a part of the jumper world who could impart some of that mythology to David.
Who are these people?
Paladins. Paladins kill jumpers. I kill paladins. Class dismissed.
He sort of operates like the Han Solo character with Luke Skywalker and also the Obi-Wan Kenobi character. He is both the sort of rogue and he's also the teacher and the mentor.
So how long you been doing this for?
Doing what? Driving.
No, jumping.
Since I was 5.
5?
Yep.
The idea was pretty much I would take Griffin from when his parents are killed to sometime before the movie. Griffin has people coming after him trying to kill him from a very young age. The Paladins are trying to kill him, and they essentially hunt him and his family for 5 years before they actually do kill his parents. And so we have someone who's got a much rougher time of it than Davy. He's almost feral in the way he's had to grow up as a result. You know, I was very interested in writing that story. That was interesting to me.
I want to know that history as well. You know, I want to know that mythology and the history of what jumpers have done in the past to change the way we look at things today.
So I did get to see some of the world building that Doug Liman and the producers created using my novel as a springboard. I got to see little treatments of the history of the Paladins and history of jumpers.
You know, there's so much to explore, you know, conceptually with teleportation that, you know, you can't just do it in one film.
And it continues. It's not a static thing. It's a living, breathing thing that we're continuously evolving. We're learning about the movie as we make it, and we're learning about how complex it is to be a jumper. And there are elements coming in later movies, if hopefully we get to later movies, that have a time element to them. I don't want to say too much about that, but it's very cool.
This is 100% Steven Gould's story. It's just reinvented as a movie.
And there's the famous quote, and I think the author was Kane, the guy who wrote The Postman Always Rings Twice, who said, when asked, how do you feel about the way Hollywood has ruined your books? And he said something to the effect of, my books are right there on the shelf. There's nothing. They're exactly the same as they've always been. Hollywood hasn't done a single thing to them except, and he didn't say this, but this is where I come in. Tens of thousands, if not more, people will be reading those books for the first time because of this movie, and that is really cool.
X72 Utah, take 6, the only marker.
Leave me alone.
This might hurt a little bit.
Action! I did not want this to be called the visual effects movie. I didn't want to treat it like a visual effects movie. If I actually could have cast somebody who could teleport, I would have done that and not had any visual effects. But the next best thing was to try to figure out how to keep this grounded and how to shoot it as though I found somebody who could teleport. And so we're not showing off the jumps. We're, being very matter-of-fact about it. I like thinking of the movie as though this is the second teleportation movie. That we did one already, we were all fancy about the teleportation, and now we're taking it for granted. So you're not immediately going to your arm as much as like, and then it's like... I did a lot of R&D. It was pretty intimidating in the beginning, just starting with the video camera. Somebody in this office, sitting in a chair. How do we make them teleport out of this chair? What's that gonna look like? Okay, roll the camera, sit in the chair. Okay, keep the camera rolling, get out of the chair. Cut those two pieces together. They're in the chair, they're not in the chair. Yeah, looks like I Dream of Jeannie. Doesn't look that good. Everybody knows it's just a jump cut. Let's do the same thing, but let's move the camera. Sit in the chair, we'll move the camera. Get out of the chair. Move the camera through the same arc. Yeah, that looks a little better. All right, well, wouldn't something happen to this chair because you teleported out of it? When your teleportation have an impact, there's a vacuum created, and maybe my clothing would ruffle right before I jumped. All right, let's add a little air. So we'll move the camera, add a little blast of air. Let's add a little fishing line to it. Slowly, over the course of time, we evolved a jump.
Just teleport.
We have to adjust the direction of motion, his feet.
Joel Hynek, an incredible visual effects supervisor, started introducing components of, all right, we did all that stuff with the chair, but these two worlds merged for a split second. Wouldn't there be some condensation? Because the dew points are different, the temperature is different in those two places.
There are 4 things that affect a jump, basically. One is the jumper's skill level. One is his intent. The other is his emotional state. And the 4th is the difficulty.
Some things you can't jump, baby! Doug was very specific what he wanted with how jumping should be. It's not like you click your heels 3 times and a bunch of stars appear and you suddenly like disappear. He says it's violent and has all these like very physical effects. What Doug has brought to that and what he's turned jumping into is something very real.
There's almost 400 visual effects shots in this movie right now, and by the time we're done with it, I'm sure it'll be, you know, many more than that.
Doug's approach to how he was going to film the actual jump itself sometimes involved having multiple versions of the same character. So sometimes I'd go to set and there'd be 2 or 3 other people dressed exactly like me, which was a bit weird at first.
Bring it down, Griffins. Yeah, boop, boop, beep, boop. Bring it down, Griffins. Boop, boop, beep, boop.
And in some of the scenes, some of the characters jump 10 times, more than 10 times, 15 times. And every time a jump is made, of course, everything has to stop.
Breathe. Come back right in front of her. And unfreeze.
We have to do player shots. We have to do stuff with the green screen.
With the whole jumping fight scenario, it all has to happen in the one shot. We're using 5 Griffins and maybe 3 Davids. They're all doing the same thing, but all in different places around the set. So when we see the final film, we can rub out 4 of them.
You'd have to choreograph the fight, and I might be swinging at you from here, and midway through this swing, teleport to behind you. The real actor and then 4 doubles, and you put the real actor in the position where you're most likely to see their face. But all 5 of them have to be moving in sync, and you use dance techniques of giving everybody a count. You'd watch 4 or 5 actors all having to do the same fight at the same time.
What they do is they put all these black dots so they look as though they've got measles or some horrible disease. It's tracking markers, so afterwards CG can take that face and put Jamie's face on it.
We brought in Weta, who's obviously one of the top visual effects houses in the world.
The idea was that when they jumped, they would create a scar in the space-time continuum. There's a sort of element of ripped space hanging in the air.
We're referring to it as a jump scar, but what does that look like?
Basically, we wanted it to look like something that was distorting the fabric of space-time, and so as light would go through it, it would get bent around and cause what would be similar to like glass refraction. But we didn't want it to look exactly like glass. So we softened the edges and added more distortion and tried to break the shape up in a soft and kind of organic way.
It's a messy 2-frame dissolve. They collapse into the scar, essentially. A lot of times the simplest thing tends to be the way to go with some of the stuff.
There's 3 cars that Simon Crane will choreograph so that they're doing the same move at the same time, and you can paint one out or the other one out and make the car actually look like it teleported from one spot to the other.
We'll have, one car at one part of the block driving along, and then the camera will whip pan to another car further down the block. In between was our jump.
Might want to hold on, son.
Doug actually asked us to have the car jump way up into the air, so close to the high-angle camera, and then back down.
It was largely just helicopter plate photography of a busy street in Tokyo that we put a computer graphics car into.
You kind of either do what we did with the Bourne movies, where you're not really an effects movie and you travel to all these places, or you become an effects movie, have a big visual effects budget, and you stay in one place and then pretend like you went to all those other places. And what I wanted to do with Jumper was merge those two things and be a visual effects movie that traveled. But it all was with an eye towards, how do we just make it look real and not at all like an effect? And can I possibly get through this whole movie without you ever feeling like you saw a visual effect?
What happened to the wall?
Practicing jumping around. It's jumping training.
It's a jumper's warm-up, right?
Yeah, exactly. Jumper's warm-up, son.
This film, you know, is theoretically the third in my, what I call my sellout trilogy of starting with Born Identity, of creating, you know, sort of big Hollywood entertainment. But I believe there is a vibrant indie film contained within the massive Hollywood apparatus, no matter how many bells and whistles and toys I have. God knows in Jumper I've got the most with the traveling the world and all the special effects and all of the action, but I still brought that philosophy of, well, what if you didn't have any of that? Would the story still hold up? When you take a book and turn it into a movie, I'm really someone who believes in throwing the whole thing out and reinventing it as a movie. We preserved, you know, a scene from the first act, and that's basically it in terms of what we were preserving from the book. But this is 100% Steven Gould's story. It's just reinvented as a movie.
What should I do with the Platinum, the other camera?
Just get it set up on sticks with a 150 on it, off to the side, and we'll bring it in.
Danny, if you could bring in your mini blower here just to kind of smooth this edge to the mouth of the cave and make it look sexy with greens.
This is a big wide master of the scene, would be looking this way.
Okay.
So maybe what we'll do is we'll start with putting one camera on the techno crane. But if you want to break it up, we'll literally be here for 6 hours shooting it, but it's fine.
We'll literally be here for 6 hours shooting it because none of this is budgeted. So it's really your choice.
Excuse me, guys. Yeah, Jamie's gonna be in the shot. He knows what he's doing.
I'm glad Doug thinks that I know what I'm doing. He just makes that assumption. Jamie knows what he's doing.
Jamie's really directing.
Yeah, there you go. It says Jumper, directed by Doug Liman. It means Jumper, written and directed by Jamie Bell.
I think Doug is a very unique individual. He sees this film in so many different ways at one particular instant. You know, it's almost like he's a jumper in his mind. You have to be flexible enough to even let go of all the things that you thought you were going to do, because Doug had this fantastic idea about what was going on in the room. And it becomes sort of a on-the-go challenge that you as an actor have to stand up to.
There are always...
Well, I wrote the scene we're shooting today, last night, so I'm way ahead of the scene. That's a lot of advance for us. I'm sure over the span of the day I will rewrite it 6 or 7 times, and we'll reblock it 5 or 6 times. But yeah.
We have a significant creative and financial problem. The creative problem is our limitations on Sam Jackson and when we can get him back. Our financial problems are we can't afford this boat thing that we've designed. It's just a total mess.
And action!
Let's do that one.
walking one last time. This is coming right off the fight.
Yeah, not enough looks to him.
Not enough looks.
There's a fight, guys. There's shit flying and action!
You were thinking of checking out Rome? Come on, you know that was my dream. Don't try to rip me off.
Damn straight, day 79 of 63. 85, 63. I don't know.
It's 81 of 63.
It's eight what?
It's 81 of 63.
81? We're doing this. Fucking leg shake on day 81. Yep, that's right.
This is one of the creative things, most creative things Doug is going to do on the movie right now is explain why his skates were shaking while he had a breakaway playing ice hockey.
First of all, who said they were shaking?
It's all over the crew. Everybody was talking about it yesterday, especially the Canadians.
It's because Kim told me to have them sharpened because the ice was super slick. So I had them sharpened right before the game.
Right? Like everybody else whose skates weren't shaking.
No, right before the game I had them sharpened. And then I didn't have a chance to warm up because the game started so early.
Right.
And I was there a little late.
Right.
And the skates, like the first half of the game, the skates need to get worn in. And then they stop shaking. Because I myself was noticing, wow, these things are very shaky.
Wow. You see, that's what's called storytelling.
Yeah, recently sharpened skates. Is there a Canadian skater in the room?
If we twist everything a little bit.
Jamie.
What?
Tell me about your time.
What time?
How is your
the time for me getting picked up from the hotel at 11:30, and then it's fucking 4:30, and I have done fucking shit. That time, or maybe about the time maybe when I came in yesterday, when they're like, oh yeah, we really need to cut and color your hair because it's been so long. So we're gonna pick you up at 10:30, and I don't know, maybe we'll put you in a chair and get your hair done at like 6:30, 7. When the fucking cast are wrapped, when the crew is wrapped, and I'm there in the chair at 8 p.m., and then I have to fucking wait for the director to get in the car so that I can go back to my hotel? Fuck that, man. It's annoying as hell. It's so annoying.
Hey, guys, start rolling. It actually feels really good.
You know what would be?
Oh, that's good, Kim. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's really good. Oh, yeah. Oh, wrong ball.
It might be less likely to see you if you're on the other side.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm next.
Shoot. Okay, let's just figure out how to do the shot, then we'll get him wet.
Yeah, but wouldn't his legs, wouldn't they be down, you know?
His feet should be dragging. Then I go flip.
Or my head. There.
And the second flip is the jump. Ready and roll, sound. Nice to hear, roll sound. And get ready, 3, 2, 1, flip. And 3, 2, 1, flip. 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 Flip.
You want some padding in there?
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let's think about that in the third take. When I first read the script, Jumper 1, you know, that was like back in November in 2005. And obviously the script has developed and has become something completely different entirely. When did you read the last script?
A few weeks ago. I know that's...
We've had 8 different ones since then. You forget, I'm now on Jumper 12.
The script that I read from David Goyer, an incredible writer, was so fresh and obviously got me immediately interested in the movie. But like many of my projects, probably the first thing I do when I get in there is just rip the whole thing apart. It's made me, given me kind of a dubious reputation in the studio system, because that kind of process, lends itself a little bit more to independent films. But I can't help it. If there's something about the script that's not right, I gotta do what I can to try to fix it.
All good, see?
All good, see? All good. Head slightly to the right.
Hey, Ryan.
Hopefully, left foot triggers, steps on it. Bob, your uncle. We'll see how it looks. I may just jump in with you. We'll try it again.
You're gonna jump in.
Should I not jump in? Should I lower myself in? Okay, I'll lower myself in. He's gonna
Doug,
jump in.
you're gonna be on the right side. You're gonna push him
I'm
this
gonna be
way.
on this side. He's gonna jump in, and I'm gonna help push his body over.
And you're underwater.
Yeah.
You want a mask?
I think I went in and then when I
Are you guys really ready to roll, though?
Yep.
Mark.
Okay, you ready?
I'm not ready yet. Hold on.
Come on!
How's your penis? We're rolling. Action.
Cut. How'd that look?
Come on. Game up.
Did he come up and feel like he got swept sideways?
Absolutely.
Okay, it was good?
Yeah.
I'll see you Monday.
We'll concoct something for you to do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll see you Monday.
Yeah, we got a lot of good color today.
Hi, Bilson. How are you? Nice to see you.
He's British. He doesn't know how to swim.
I don't know how to swim. Terrified of water.
Don't know how to swim, don't know how to drown.
I was raised in a tiny town of like 10,000 people. We didn't have swimming pools.
Do you want to eat the mysterious crumbs that are in my
no,
pocket?
I really don't. That's so gross. No. Oh, God.
I don't even know what. I don't even know. Oh, you know what this is? Oh my God. This is lunch from Sundance. This is a cheese, American cheese and bread sandwich. And look at the American cheese. It's become these little rock hard pieces.
Okay, stand by. Here we go. Stand by.
So we're doing Millie's underwater set sequence now. The way a sequence like this, that's quite a, it's a bona fide stunt. The actors really are underwater. They're really, they're actually in that apartment that's underwater. So Rachel has a ceiling. Is that 12?
It's 12.
She really has a roof over her head. Simon Crane's specialty is doing shots like this with the actors and not with stunt doubles. And so it's a sequence where Simon and I will talk it out, work it out in advance, and then Simon works directly with the actors and directs them. And he's kind of unique in the action world of his relationship with the, a lot of times second unit directors will work just with the stunt players. Simon really almost exclusively works with actors. Video, yeah, I'm shooting video.
Roll video, please. Roll video.
Okay, so stand by all around. Stand by. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Action and now.
I mean, I'm actually like, I'm quite a happy person. Like, I'm quite set in myself. Like, I mean, I enjoy working on this film. I love all the people
So Peter,
here.
that chair that just flew by, something along those lines is great stuff. But let's not kill ourselves. Let's just get some when we can.
Doug, show me your flippers.
I've ordered up cameras with lenses. They must be putting the lenses on because I've heard conversations about they give me the impression. I don't know if they're putting the lenses on the camera
I'm
still
just
at the
saying,
Coliseum.
this is a very expensive gelato eating session. It's really costly. That's all I'm saying.
10 minutes ago.
That's
Aren't they
10
wheeling
minutes.
But this particular movie, I will describe it as, and for me as a challenge, was actually to know how to exist and do my work the best I can in the Triangle of Bermuda. And the triangle, you have three names. You have Doug Liman, Lucas Foster, and Kim Winter.
Let's just go because we're running a little late already.
Coliseum, or what's this
Yeah, we're going
stop?
to Coliseum first.
So we get here 5 o'clock in the morning. Hayden has to be ready at the hotel or something in like 20 minutes. And you have to come here at 6:30 and you shoot the arrival. You go inside first, you get what you get, which is the opening scene with 3 steady cams. He's got to be ready to act. You know what I mean? There's no rehearsal.
Ça peut être pour le début parce qu'on n'a pas besoin de double, mais pour tout le Coliseum,
I
t'as
agree.
besoin d'un...
Totally agree.
Ah oui, je sais.
Totally agree.
Unique piece.
So she doesn't
So
stand
it's
out
really-
like from the entire crowd. So
Soit d'autres de Toronto, donc j'ai pas de problème pour avoir une deuxième personne.
this is a very specific, casual, elegant vibe to it that the coat interrupts. So the coat can be later after the beautiful part in the Coliseum, but not during the Coliseum.
So now I just want to make sure.
I think we should do this.
So I want to make sure, like for the jacket that will be hanging on. Do you prefer this or do you prefer this?
We're leaving.
Because if we do, we have to find a way so you're not trapping yourself.
Go back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
You capturing how beautiful it is out here?
What time is it?
It's very early in the morning. The sun's coming up. It is exactly
6:25.
6:25. Holy shit, we're late. If you can be a little lower.
Sure, no
I know
problem.
it's tough because she's not so tall.
Yeah.
But it just looks better for.
From down low. Okay.
If you're a little below her, I get more.
Very good. Yeah, we can do that. Okay.
Even if you have to chop her chin off.
Well, what we can do is I can try to drop it down here on the way around.
Good.
Know what I
Because
mean?
then it just looks more impressive if you're.
I don't personally believe that movies that are static are that interesting. There's a traditional way of making a movie is you write the screenplay, you cast the actors, and then you go into the manufacturing phase where it's supposed to be an assembly line. You have a limited amount of time and a limited amount of money and days and access to things, and you have your little factory and you process the shots, you get the shots you need to put the story together. The way we work, we're continuously evolving the story with the actors. We frequently consult them on what they think, we should do when the character has to make a turn, and we integrate that into the story, and ultimately we integrate it into the mythology of all of the movies. And so we've learned things, as we've gone, and it's a continuous circle amongst all of us about how to make it better.
Doug, come home. Doug, where are you? Doug? Where are you, Doug? What do you want to do next?
That was intense.
Pretty cool beats in there.
That was pretty rad.
You missed the. I went running into one of the side chambers. No, there's a pit.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Doug doesn't. I mean, for Doug, it's a journey of exploration for him. So at this point, if you asked him what's the film about, what are we trying to do, he'd kind of be like, I don't know, Remember when we were back on Jumper 1? And I actually shot some stuff then?
I do remember that, actually.
Since then, I haven't shot anything.
Summer 2004?
Yeah.
Summer 2004, we began.
No, I think it was 2000. It was pretty soon after Billy Elliot, actually. So, that's why everyone's like, what happened to that kid?
Where's the dance moves? Where's the dance moves in action?
What happened to him?
Pirouette, jump,
Whatever happened
kick.
to him?
Pirouette, jump, kick,
Pirouette,
remember?
jump, kick, part of Blu-ray.
It's weird, they're like, he has facial hair now.
And he's got
all
scars
grown
and
up.
shit.
Yeah.
Although there is going to be dancing. I dance all along the
Yeah.
outskirts of it.
Just, I heard the edges up there and the top of it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
These people are here to take a look, to see you do your special dance, to feel the electricity
I'm
go
so
through your
glad they're
body.
here. It is all about electricity, ultimately.
Came up with for you for here was that at the exterior of the Coliseum, when you said I'm with him, you became a team. Right. So this section that we're about to do is starting with we're a team.
These are from old drafts. So the scene's on page 5, but if you look at page 10 and 11, there's some bonus dialogue to add to it because you have a pretty long walk.
Yeah, I just don't want to be, you know, saying the same exact, like, running out of the Coliseum. I just don't want to.
No, I think you're asking very specific, very cogent questions.
I just don't want to do the vague thing again, like running out of the Coliseum.
Yeah.
What happened there? David, slow down, talk to me. David, what?
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
You might start with, what did they say to you? They just asked me a lot of questions for 8 hours. Yeah, they had a lot of questions.
If you're comfortable enough to, you know, just show up to work and be willing to explore things that, you know, you weren't intending on doing, you couldn't ask for a better director.
God, I'm such the fucking dumbass for so long. I mean, I know I have to be. It's just the same thing.
We're like way too much work for the time, but we're, you know, they got the camera going in here while they're relighting in there. If I can just efficiently leapfrog where we get a shot here, we get a shot there, we get a shot here, we get a shot there. This scene's with Hayden, that scene's with Rachel. But the moment I fuck up one of these two things and I can't leapfrog, we're cooked. So you're trying to do your work, and hey, we've been waiting for the magistrate. Hey. Yeah, we've been waiting a long time, buddy.
Now you see, or we see, huh? Come on.
Good.
Okay?
Yeah. That kind of attitude's really good.
Can I add something?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Especially if it's in Italian.
No. Dai.
Okay? That's good.
Okay.
Grazie.
Well, I think we should shoot that.
Yeah, just go and shoot it right now.
Yeah, but that's what
I can, yeah, I'm watching it right here. But I'm going to stay here with Hayden. Go ahead and roll.
Can you pull the Preston off of that thing, please? The whole bracket? Yeah.
All right, let me go shoot this.
I'm not going to agonize over the shot. You come out looking for her, it's like, oh fuck, he's there. So it's just like, just give me an editing handle there.
Oh fuck, he's there?
Yeah, but he didn't hear you. Good.
Okay. Or is it maybe better that I don't look that way first? I just see mom, and then him saying something is oh fuck, and then it's what do I do? And then.
Okay. Ready?
Rolling, Doug.
I'm watching. Okay, Kim, do one more.
One more, Kim going again. Mark it.
You can go in there. Nobody out here.
Doug Liman, if you dare.
Everybody away. And accione. Okay, roll.
This is producer disbelief at how behind we are. We're an hour behind on a night we can't afford to be behind at all. We have to leave. Tomorrow's our last day of photography in Rome.
Let's see what's going on over there. Let's see what's going on over here.
We'll go with them. We'll go with when these come back to Rachel.
Yeah, I think like, especially maybe Hayden stop just a step deeper so you have a chance to sort of pan off to that guy. Open the curtains there. Back to Hayden and her. Let him go in. And her, and then is it, you know, this is, they end up on the bed like this.
Fuck, I hope somebody ever checked my camera.
A moment
I wish I had my camera.
Like, what the hell is going on?
Let me just see, Hayden, come up here too.
Is aftermath?
Yeah. And you're talking to each other. That's kind of sweet. But the, I know Lucas doesn't want to hear the word sweet. I can't help it. It's in my bones to be sweet, not to be nasty.
You have an hour and 20 minutes of daylight.
It's 5 o'clock, bitches. Where are we going? Well, we're going to Paris for the day.
You want to change in the bathroom here? Okay.
Where are we going?
We're going straight to a location by the Seine.
Okay.
Bells. Jamie. Jamie. Because you need to do a practice.
Ouais, ouais.
Alors, on est au coin de l'hôtel de ville et la Seine, mais derrière l'hôtel. Hôtel de ville et la Seine, mais derrière l'hôtel de ville.
AM call time to shoot on top of the Empire State Building. As you can see, there's not a lot being done. We're just hanging out. Pigeons.
The weather sucks, so we're gonna come back here tomorrow, but I may want to play this one scene in the rain.
Maryland?
That's what I like to do. I like to read random facts from Wikipedia that put Doug to sleep.
But Lucas, you saw that email that we have to translate the script into Chinese?
Yeah, Simon's
I won.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the pool. We're not far away from starting to shoot this. Basically, it's going to be 3 cameras. It's going to be 2 cameras in the water and a camera up top. Stand by to shoot.
Come in, sort of be like this, struggle, struggle, struggle. You know, and then
underwater as they come to the surface.
As they come into the surface, Griffin maybe spins around with a detonator like that. So, you know, like, say
Okay,
I'm
so I've got
Griffin.
the detonator.
I've got the
right now.
detonator.
Oh,
I've
Griffin
got
had the detonator.
So
and David grabbed him.
Yeah, and it's me. I just go like that as I come to the surface, and you maybe dive on top of me.
Okay.
Do you
And
know
then
what I
we'll
mean?
land on the
And then
street that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, jump!
Action!
hurts your ability to complain when you're talking about how cold your ears are and whatnot, and there's a big poofy hood just dangling.
No, but I need to get earmuffs. Look at this. Look at this kid. Look at this kid. Look at him go.
No, I don't smoke with it. I can do a whole. Thank you.
Bravo Mark!
Okay?
That was exciting.
He's run inside.
Never seen real explosions before.
Yes, he wants
Usually all computer generated. I can smell it, I can see it, I can hear it. It's so good.
But the idea is they're back. So, Hayden. Guys. I think no matter what, you would have been stumbling. You should come in stumbling or falling. And you start maybe here, and we do this path. You know, you'll get like this close.
Literally, Doug will halfway through a day go, it's not working, let's redo it. Or let's reconfigure, or let's redo something. And it works, is the minute you give that rejig, something new happens.
Action!
And cut there!
I tend to be very attracted to imperfect characters, and I love them for it. I'm not judgmental of them. I'm just more interested in people who are a little bit less heroic, a little bit more real.
Marker!
And Sam.
I believe he does that.
Can you pull this red first two books out of here?
Power Corrupt.
The next one too. But throw the seaweed back on there.
So, it's
This
playing.
is surreal.
It's playing a little.
I just gotta say.
No, I like Doug a lot. It's an interesting process for me. I mean, I've done over 100 films, and this is kind of the most different kind of process that I've been in a while. I remember it from my days in the theater.
Doug's wild energy is something that Griffin just feeds off of, you know. The script and the movie and the characters are all evolving, and Doug is letting that happen and exploring new things, discovering new things, and I think that's really interesting and really great that you can do that on such a big film.
Another month! Or 2 more days of filming, either. Your cameraman is none other than Doug Liman. Okay, this is some fancy camera work. It's gonna make J Bells look like a man.
Yeah! I'm a man! Look at me, I'm a man! I'm a man, everybody! Hey! I'm proving myself as a man!
This is a Mick G camera work right here. Look at that. Little Michael Bay coming at you. Ooh, look at that! Shit. Through the leg! That's a Michael Bay for you. Believe it or not, I'm too tired to continue.
When I was 5 years old, my mother vanished. She took off, leaving me and my dad in a broken home. I recently discovered I could teleport. Jump to anywhere in the world with just a thought. Go anywhere, see anything. But one question still haunts me, and that's why I find myself here in Kent, Connecticut, the town where my mom said she was born, looking through birth certificates.
Jeez! Who's there? You're not supposed to. Huh? I've never seen anything like it, Sheriff Falk.
Me neither. But someone broke into the hospital in New Milford last night. Disappeared without a trace. Going through birth certificates, too. Looking for someone, I guess. And maybe found him this time. Just got scared off before he could take these with him.
So you think this intruder was trying to track someone down?
Yeah, I just need to figure out which of these birth certificates they were after. I know most of the names here, but not... I'll be damned.
What is it?
I think we found it.
You got a sec?
Yeah, what do you need?
System says we got a local sheriff in Connecticut who's doing a search for one of our false IDs.
Which paladin set it up?
That's the strange part. All reference to the creation of this identity has been purged from the system.
That's a violation of protocol. Looks like I'm headed to Connecticut. Call Roland. You'll want to hear about this.
I never knew my grandparents, but now I had their names. I was close, but they weren't in the phone book, so I had to improvise.
Looking for anyone in particular? Mary Drake, maybe? Or her parents?
I'm not looking to hurt anyone.
What in the name of...
Sheriff Falk! Sheriff Falk! Someone stole my keys. I think he might be trying to break into the...
You think? Yeah, thanks for the tip. That's right, it's all on the wrist. Nice. Nice. That's it. Good throw. Okay, now try it again, Chris. Hello?
Sheriff Falk?
Speaking.
My name is Special Agent Rourke with the FBI.
FBI? What can I do for you?
Were you looking up a social security number yesterday?
Yes. He was looking into it, and I wanted to know why.
Look, your suspect is dangerous. We believe him to be a serious threat. We want you to hold your position until my men arrive.
Special Agent Rourke, I think I should warn you. The suspect is different. Hello? Ow!
Huh. Tell me something I don't know, Sheriff.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. Besides, it didn't really hurt. Time to go home, Chris.
Dad!
About time.
Do you really think I'd just leave this lying around? Who are you? And how did you vanish from Town Hall?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh. I think you do. Where do you go when you do that?
Where do I go? Anywhere. I've never told anyone before.
Hey!
I'm sorry, kid, but you broke the law. Doesn't work when you're cuffed, huh?
I guess not.
That'd be the FBI. Sorry, kid. You still haven't told me what you were after.
The FBI? Please, I wasn't looking to hurt anyone. I'm looking for my mother.
The file will tell you what little we know about the Drakes. Sorry I can't be of more help.
Sheriff Falk, I'm Agent Rourke of the FBI. We're here about the suspect who is trying to track down a social security number.
I don't know much more than when we spoke, but I'm happy to cooperate with your investigation in any way I can.
That won't be necessary. I'll just take over this case, thank you.
Don't know much about the social security number. Why is that classified anyway?
That's not your concern.
I see.
What was that?
What was what?
Is there something inside this room?
That's my private office. Personal. The FBI has no business there.
Yeah, Roland, the sheriff's being difficult. Yes, sir. Sheriff Falk, step away from the door.
Sure, as soon as I see some authorization or a warrant.
I'm with the FBI.
Which means the same laws that guide me, guide you. Warrant, please.
He's jumped. He was in there the whole time? You lied to me.
Not really. You never asked if I had the suspect.
I'd found my grandparents. Another dead end. I was never gonna find my mother.
You know what he can do?
Yeah.
He's dangerous.
It depends on what he was after, doesn't it?
And what was he after?
No idea.
And I'd learned that it was too dangerous to trust anyone with my secret. I was always going to be alone.
Somebody down there? David? 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 David! David!
So it happened again. I went back there to Ann Arbor. Again.
In your dreams, you mean?
Yeah, in my dreams, right.
Why do you think you're going back?
I don't know. You know, why don't you just tell me? You know, that's why I'm here.
You're going to your childhood home. Maybe we should talk about your mother.
I don't want to talk about my mom. Okay, I just want you to make it stop. That's it.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Maybe your mind is trying to tell you something. Maybe there's something you need to go back for. Hmm?
There are people in this world, people with power to change history. It's up to people like me to stop them. It's not something I get paid for, it's not something I get medals for, it's just something I have to do. One day, I hope that you'll do it too.
Yeah?
Yeah. Now go back to sleep before you get us both in trouble with your mom.
Hey, Angelo, how'd they do?
Not so good. Told you wouldn't be needing that umbrella.
Yeah, you were right.
Who is this? Roland.
It's Yoshi. When can we take it? There's another test on Friday.
Keep me informed.
So, how long do you think you're gonna...
Turn that off. Where are you?
Can you take us? Yeah? Well, hey, okay, yeah, okay. Here we go, hop in. Get in the cab, Millie. Millie, get in the car. Please, please get in the cab. Okay, bye. The airport.
What? Hey, stop! Because my bag, it's still at the hotel. What?
Kitchen.
No, it's in the trunk. Okay?
David, how can it be in the trunk? You just hailed this
No,
cab.
it's in the trunk.
E perché devo aprire il cofano?
Can you open the trunk?
Non ci sono bagagli.
Just open the trunk.
He goes.
Okay?
Okay.
Open the trunk.
Hi.
See?
Comrades! You haven't got any wire cutters there? Huh? Wire cut ski?